so excited.
It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielsen, Matt Cassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
Good afternoon, Oilers game day tonight as they take on the mighty Colorado Avalanche in Denver. I'm Reed Wilkins in for Dustin Nielsen. Joaquin Gage is here as well, and I am AI generated.
It's good.
This is a second wave of laughter. It's like you got it, and then something else really made you laugh.
I liked it. I've never heard that before. I wish, because you're. I know you're not AI. I get the joke.
Well, that could be the solution because we are right now one guy and a goalie.
What? Yeah, just a guy, but a great guy and a goalie.
Yes, so. Thank you. Matt Cassian, of course, has moved on from EST, though he'll still be our buddy, and we'll be seeing him around.
Yeah.
But I think eventually there'll be another guy on again. I don't know. We don't do the hiring. We were just told to do the show today.
We're well, we'll see how it goes with Cass.
That's a good point.
Right? Because they might not like what they see.
Because he's announced, he still hasn't announced the exact job. I think we kind of know what it is, but he has said it's Oilers adjacent. But yeah, sometimes there are changes in that organization quite rapidly.
Yeah.
So no rush to bring somebody in.
So who knows, right?
Who knows how long that lasts?
Who knows?
So, okay, let me ask you that, since we're meandering already. We'll get to the game tonight. We know this is going to be a tough one for the Oilers. How aware are players of other human beings' roles within the organization? Okay, so the Oilers show up so say it's they're at home, it's a practice day. Practice will be at 11 or noon. So they're getting there, a couple hours beforehand usually?
Yeah.
So they'll see other people around the rink. Maybe they got to go into the office to talk to somebody or find out if they got to make an appearance or something. So they'll see salespeople, ticketing people, other people. Like, how aware are they of other people's jobs the further away those jobs get from the dressing room? You know what I mean?
Well, I'll look at it from Cass's point of view, because I believe with his other job, he does have relationships throughout the league, right?
Right.
So he's not a familiar face, but a face they've seen before, probably around. So right away they're going, okay, he's been here before. But it's that introductory step that's kind of interesting, right? To the whole organization, meeting everybody from that. But I would assume just because he's involved with the Edmonton alumni throughout the city, that a lot of people know him already.
Right.
So for him, it's probably the most seamless transition to his new role.
Right.
Than someone maybe from a different city and coming in and they go, well, who's this guy? What?
Yeah.
So I think that was one of the things that was appealing.
Yeah.
That there was some familiarity with everyone. So,
yeah.
But when you see a new guy, first off, what always in my head was, is this a goalie?
Right. Could this be a player?
Could this guy take my job?
Looks like a 60-year-old man, so probably not.
I didn't care how old you were.
Somebody else like, that's an intern from Nate. I'm probably safe. He's holding a camera, so probably a photographer. Somebody from the web team. My job is safe.
Or a goalie coach. Was he the new goalie coach?
Right.
And if it wasn't any of those, I thought, okay, it doesn't really matter. He probably won't talk to me anyway.
Yeah, it's just because like because they did that. God, time blends. I think it might have been last year. Like they did a massive Christmas photo, I think.
Oh,
After one of the practices, and everybody from OEG went on the ice, and of course,
I saw that.
Connor gives the nice. I mean, good for Connor. He's like, it's not about us. It's all of you who really make the organization run. Well, yeah, but you need the players.
Yeah,
But I wonder if he went around to. There were probably at least 100 people on the ice. Now, this is not a shot at McDavid or any of the players, but like, I wonder how many people they would actually be like, I know at least your first name, and I'm pretty sure I know your general job. I mean, there'd be some people they would clearly have no idea.
I don't know Connor McDavid from a hole in the wall, right? But I had a relationship with David Pelche. He's a friend of a friend, and we would have dinner and stuff. And I asked him one night about Connor and just what he was like. And David's shoot from the hip guy, brutally honest at times, almost too honest. But he was completely complimentary about Connor, saying his conversations with him weren't at length at that point. This was years ago. But he said, like, David would say something about his family and then maybe not talk to him for a bit. And then, all of a sudden Connor would come up to him and goes, "Hey, how's that thing going?" You know, so he does have an interest in people around the organization. He's not, I know he says he's a robot, but there's some feelings there and an awareness of how everyone else is doing throughout the organization, I think. And that's what I got from David, because let's face it, it takes a village, and that's not only the 20 guys on the ice and the coaching staff to create a Stanley Cup champion. It takes everyone. So there's a vested interest, I think, on Connor's part to know everything's working hand in hand and seamlessly.
Yeah. This is Two Guys and a Goalie, Wilkins and Gage today. It's presented by GS Construction. GS Construction is hiring now. GS is looking for experienced pipe layers, operators, topmen, and superintendents. The web address, gsconstruction.ca. All right, so game tonight, Oilers at Avalanche. The Oilers are 31-25-8. They have 70 points. The Avalanche are 43-10-9 for 95 points. At home, they are 23-4-4. Not bad. The Oilers, in the grand scheme of things, the Oilers actually aren't bad on the road.
Yeah.
15-14-4. It's not awesome, but a little bit above 500 for a points percentage. Look, I'll give some numbers here. There's one category that gives the Oilers an advantage in this game. It's not goals for or goals against. Now, don't get me wrong. We know the Oilers are good in goals for. 3.55 per game. Third in the NHL. It has the Canadians at 3.55 as well. I think if you go a couple more decimal places, the Oilers are third. But the Avalanche are first, 3.79. Goals against, you know the story. The Oilers now down to 27th, 3.36 goals against per game. Where are the Avalanche? Well, they're first, 2.42. So number one offense, number one defense for the Avs. So we know the Oilers are going to have to check. Leading scorer for the Avs, of course, is MacKinnon, 104 points in 61 games. For the Oilers, 108 points for McDavid in 64 games. How about this? McDavid's plus 12. MacKinnon is plus 56.
Jeez. Winning the 5-on-5 battle for
yeah, not bad. Now here's the weird stuff. I'll go to the special teams. I think everybody knows where I'm going with this, but we got to talk about it. The Oilers' power play is exceptional, 32.8%. The Oilers' PK is, signs of encouragement, which we'll talk about, but it's still not very good overall. 77.4% is 24th. The Avs' PK is great, 83.1% is third. And here's the one number that doesn't make any sense at all. The Colorado Avalanche on the power play, their league ranking has improved from where it's been most of the season. Because most of the season they've been last.
Yeah.
They're now second last at 15.8%.
That's crazy. That's it'll be interesting to see this thing. You got to look at it like, does it have the over the last 10 games type of numbers?
Oh, I can get that easily enough.
Because sometimes that gives you you go through a stretch. Maybe there was a game that, was out of reach. They were done, but they got a bunch of power plays and sent the other guys out there.
There's a 20-second power play at the end of the game.
Something like that sometimes can affect it too, right? But when you look at their first unit, Nelson, MacKinnon, Natchez, Makar, Kadri now. Maybe Kadri is the catalyst. Maybe he's the secret sauce for that power play now.
So their power play actually, relatively speaking, has been good in their last 4 games. Now, against Minnesota a couple days ago, they were 0 for 5.
Okay.
Their previous game against Dallas, they were 2 for 5. Before that, against Anaheim, they were 1 for 3. And before that, against the Kings, they were 1 for 1.
Okay.
So that's 4 for their last 14, though they were 0 for 5 last game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you look at their game log, they had a stretch of from January 21st until the Olympic break, 8 games did not score a power play goal.
Wow.
It makes no sense at all with that talent. I mean, they're almost, if you look at their plus minus, they're almost in decline the penalty mode.
Yeah,
just leave it. It's fine.
It's fine.
We'll just keep going.
Well, didn't Makar do that one time? He actually fell.
Well, it was a couple years ago. He told the ref,
"We're done." No.
Yeah, he told the ref, "No, he didn't trip me." The plus minus in the NHL, if you use that stat, I know a lot of you think it's antiquated. I still think it has some value. McKinnon's plus 56. Natchez is plus 44. Josh Manson is plus 40. He's tied with Tampa's J.J. Moser. So basically the top 3 plus minus guys in the NHL are off the Avs. Makar is 6th at plus 34. Kind of odd Makar isn't even higher. I mean, that's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
How many times, I don't think I've ever said that about a player. He's only plus 34.
Well, you just look at those top guys. Kadri is minus 26.
No,
so
coming from what's wrong with Kadri? He was on another team. Yeah.
If he gets to even by the end of the year,
could you imagine that?
That's hey, maybe we could get that on Play Alberta.
Kadri to get to even
over
the final
18 games.
Yeah. That'd be remember when Ekholm came 3 years ago now? He was like literally plus.
Yeah.
I think he played 26 games for the Oilers and was plus 25 or 26.
Yeah.
Like it was 1 per game. So Kadri would have to do that. Plus a little bit more. Like MacKinnon is plus 31. He's 9th in the league. Brent Burns, who was my wild card to be on the Olympic team. It might have been better than a couple guys they took on defense.
I have time for him. Yeah.
It's plus 30. So anyway, this is a powerhouse of a team. And by the way, their previous meeting of the season was 9-1 in favor of the Avalanche back on November 8th. An absolute rout in which the Avalanche did not call off the Dogs in that game.
No.
They had a grade A scoring chance with about 20 seconds left to make it 10.
Yeah. There are some injuries, though, I believe. Right now, it does say that Landeskog and Arturi Lehkonen are out.
Okay.
So those are 2 pretty big pieces of the team.
Are they both ruled out for tonight for sure?
I don't know for sure.
Because I was trying to check that.
I looked at their lineup and they're not in it.
They're not on the projected lineup?
No.
Okay.
That could change. I could be wrong. But
where is it now?
It just has their lineups are MacKinnon, Kadri, and Natchez.
Right.
Nelson, Colton, and Nichushkin. Roy, Kelly, and Brindley. And then on the 4th line is Drury, Bardarakov, and Joel Kivaranta.
Yeah, okay.
So
in the Nasty Chat, by the way, you can post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. If you're taking us in on the Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're well over 14,000 subscribers now, so let's push to 15. You can post in the Nasty Chat. Give the show a thumbs up if you haven't already. You can also text us, 780-218-9999. If we get any messages along the way that we want to hop into, we will read those as well. So we have Scott saying, who doesn't believe in plus minus? I think it's quite indicative. 83 Runner says plus minus isn't a good stat, but then he put a smiling face, so I don't know if he's laughing at that comment or at me. James says plus minus is a good comparison for players on the same team. No, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like Podkolzin's been quite plus most of the season for the Oilers, right? When some other guys have struggled.
Oh, yeah.
I think if there are extremes with plus minus, look, if one guy's +3 and another guy's -3, I don't know if I can sit there and say like, oh, well.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I know it's 6 goals, but there could be a little bit of luck
and it's difficult. Sometimes players, it's not directly their fault too.
Right.
But they just could be out there in a lot of situations where they're getting scored on.
Well, and like the special teams don't count, but pulled goalie counts.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why good players on bad teams, their plus minus can really take a beating.
Yeah.
Because they're out late in the game and they get scored on with the empty net.
Yeah. I mean, the Oilers have been so good with the goalie polls. They've actually probably done quite well. But
I looked that up. They were 10th, I think, on 6-on-5 goals. Yeah. The Islanders had like 10. I think the Oilers were at 6. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, the Oilers had that flurry, 2 against San Jose, the 1 against Washington, and who did they tie last week? I forgot already.
Oh, shoot.
Who did they beat last week?
Got him.
Ottawa.
Ottawa,
right. They tied Ottawa with the goalie out. Yeah.
Well, the Islanders do have Patrick Waugh. He pulls the goalie with like 15 minutes left.
Well, he might as well.
He might as well.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that so much. I mean,
it's funny how he started that whole thing. Like, I remember when I think there was like 5.5 or 6 minutes left and he pulled the goalie.
Yeah.
And it just, you could hear the fans and it just caused such a commotion. And it does. Like, guys get a little bit horny to get that empty netter when they see the goalie pulled. Like, and your guys are yelling, "Goalie's out! Goalie's out!" Oh, I can score! I can score!
Right.
And it causes a little bit of chaos, especially if it's during the play.
Yeah.
If it's a controlled face-off, then you can set up your plays and get going. But I always preferred to, if I was going to be pulled, pull me during the play. Because sometimes you can sneak in to like that guy coming off the bench.
Oh, really?
If you have control. It's just it provides that other layer that maybe the other team isn't ready for with that late guy coming in, and hopefully you can generate a scoring chance.
Yeah, that's one thing. I don't mind the earlier pull. I know when they pull a goalie, 2.5 minutes, and the other team scores right away.
Yeah.
You always get, and Brownie and I would get it after. Well, why do you pull him? It's like, well,
yeah.
Sometimes it's like, especially if you're getting shut out or you've only scored once, as a coach, it's like, well, you guys haven't scored for 57 minutes, 5-on-5. Why should I think you're going to do it in the last 3? I better pull the goalie and give you a chance.
If you were a coach, Reed, and let's just say last 7 minutes, you're down a goal, you've been dominating for, the last 5. Maybe say there's 5 minutes left. Do you leave the goalie in? Just because you're pushing, it looks like something could happen.
If you're down 1?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Down 1, I would still do probably a pull with 2 minutes left.
A little bit, yeah.
And now you sometimes see it in the playoffs, especially if it's a desperate situation. But like, you're down 5-1, pull them with 10 minutes left. If you got to face off at the other end, try to get one, and then at least you make the other team think.
Even if there's a power play, I would think about it. Right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I know there's goal differential, which could be a tiebreaker if it came down to that in the standings. But, I think sometimes as a coach, the coach's job is to maximize his team's chances of winning the game.
Exactly.
Really, the earlier you pull the goalie, you're doing that because you might score, you might tie it up. If you give up one, like you're losing. Like I don't know if a GM's ever gone to a coach and be like, "Why are you pulling him?"
No,
unless it's crazy early or something like that, where they don't have a.
Things got to be going really bad if the GM's asked the coach, "Why are you pulling the goalie?"
That would be. It would be. The Oilers' expected lineup is McDavid with Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman, Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Roslovic, Dickinson with Savoy and Kapanen, Szymanski with Doc and Frederick, defensively Ekholm with Bouchard, Wallman with Murphy, Nurse with Emberson. So Henrique will remain out. Stastny is out as well. Ingram in goal versus the Avs in his career, 2-1-2 3.09 goals against average, 902 save percentage. Mackenzie Blackwood is the expected starter for the Avalanche. For the season, he's 18-6-1. Against the Oilers in his career, 3-1-1, 3.59 goals against average, 884 save percentage. And we know the Avalanche are very tough to beat. And there's still another meeting between these two teams coming up a little bit later on in the season. So here's the thing, Gager. I can be. I know I can be a little bit of a pessimist sometimes. I try not to be, but if I feel a certain way, I got to say it.
Okay.
I said on my show yesterday that I think one of these next two games is going to go ugly for the Oilers.
Okay.
Either tonight or against the Stars. Well, what am I basing that on? Reality in my mind. But they're 0-5-1 against the top teams in the Central. They got whipped once by the Wild. They got whipped once by the Avalanche, and they got whipped once by the Stars.
Mm-hmm.
They had a 1-0 loss to the Wild. I think another game that was relatively close, and no, the one loss to the Stars was in a shootout a long time ago. So, how much do you put on that one? But here's the thing. I know the Oilers are coming off a pretty solid, I guess. I didn't like the second period, but pretty good game against the Knights.
Mm-hmm.
But the Knights are, to me, a very middling team. Now, you should beat them. I'm not saying the Oilers don't deserve credit for that victory. They made more plays. Yeah. Ingram, was really the disallowed goal on the offside was a weird goal, but I thought he had a pretty good game. Like, this is a different animal tonight. I mean, if the Oilers can actually go out and defend tonight, I hate to say this, even if they lose, because the object of the game is not to lose. Mm-hmm. But if they lose tonight's game 2-1 or 3-2, and it feels tight and locked down, and maybe the Avalanche just make one more play or get a bounce or something like that, I could almost take that as a step forward. I hate to say that because usually I don't like to say it's a good loss at this time of year, but I kind of almost feel that way about this one.
Is it a Punic victory in that case, Reed? Isn't a Punic victory?
Pyrrhic victory, I think, is the one you're looking for.
Is it?
I think so. I'll use the Google machine right now.
Thanks, buddy. It's where you sacrifice to still win. Is that the definition?
A Pyrrhic victory is a success that inflicts such a devastating toll on the victor that it's tantamount to defeat. Well, I guess not exactly.
Not too much, but...
Yeah. What did you say, Punic?
I thought it was Punic.
Let's look it up.
You might be right.
Punic just redirects you to Pyrrhic. There were the Punic Wars. That's what you're thinking of. Because you're studying a lot of Rome and Carthage, and that's where
I spend most of my time.
You're doing a lot of reading.
Rome.
Yeah, of course. The Punic Wars were from 264 to 146 BC.
Man, anytime after 6, it's toga time.
It's really Gage's wheelhouse.
You ever see Caligula?
I never wound up watching it. I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah.
There'd always be the people at Blockbuster who'd be like, because we didn't have X-rated films, adult films at Blockbuster. It's the closest you'd always get somebody's walking around for 10 minutes. And
I think
you got Caligula. Yeah, it's over here.
I think Jean-Luc Picard's in that too.
Is a young Patrick Stewart in that?
I think so. Wow. Yeah. I distinctly remember. I think I walked into the TV room as a child and my mom was watching it, and I probably stood in the doorway for a while because it's quite graphic.
It's 1979, so it's not that old.
6 years
Malcolm
old.
McDowell. Was Patrick Stewart in it?
Let's say he was.
Yeah, he's not. No, the Wikipedia page he's not listed, but it doesn't mean he wasn't.
I think he had curly hair too.
Yeah. Well, in Dune he wore a wig.
He wore a wig in Dune
because he was going bald quite young, which he was worried about. I read his book a couple years ago. It was good.
You know, my dad.
Boy, we quickly shifted to Patrick Stewart, didn't we?
yeah. Well, that's what you get when two people are into Star Trek.
Oh my God.
My dad ran into Patrick Stewart at a cigar shop in Vancouver one time.
I don't think he was in it. He was in Excalibur. Maybe that's what you're
Maybe it's Excalibur. Okay.
Anyway, so what, your dad met him?
Yeah. And my dad wasn't a big Star Trek fan, but I watched it all the time. And he started talking to me. Oh, my son watches. Oh, good. And he was getting some cigars. And he goes, yeah, I love these ones. I can only get them here. And my dad goes, well, make it so. So he hit him with the make it so. And I was like, you didn't. He goes, yeah. And I was like, wow.
Oh,
he started laughing. So very.
I wonder how often he gets that. You got to be used to it at this point.
He's got it.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's got to be Star Trek. Not as much Xavier anymore. Or is it more Xavier?
No, I think he's still known more for Picard. Because like they made the Picard show, and I feel like once you're in a Star Trek show, I mean that's you, like it or not.
Like
it or not, that's kind of what you're
Leonard
known
Nimoy's
for.
book, I Am Spock.
Yeah, and then wasn't his second one, I Am Not Spock?
I'm not Spock. Yeah. It's tough. The sequel is a little bit different.
I was watching, quick aside here, everybody. I can't remember if I told this story on air with Jay or not. I told him off air. I was watching, it just came up like a suggested YouTube video, so I watched it for about 20 minutes. And it was hosted by Jonathan Frakes and Brent Spiner.
Okay.
So these are the two gentlemen who played Riker and Data off of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Now, if you don't know that show at all, Data was the robot. Riker was the second in command, the guy with the beard. You've probably seen pictures. And the guests were Alan Tudyk, who does a lot of voices and was in that show Resident Alien.
Okay.
And was on Firefly.
Okay.
The other guest was Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were both on Firefly together. Fillion, of course, grew up in Edmonton. So they're talking, telling stories. And then all of a sudden, Jonathan Frakes, Riker, says to Nathan Fillion, he's like, hey, didn't you grow up in Edmonton? Like, tell me about Edmonton. And don't you have like a theater or a library named after you or something like that? And Fillion kind of laughs. He's like, no. He goes, I have a park bench on a street called White Ave named after me. And it's called the Nathan Fillion Civilian Pavilion. And Jonathan Frakes kind of laughs and goes, oh, you must pull that one all the time. And Fillion goes, no, it's true. I'm not joking.
No,
I have this bench named after me, and that's what it's called. And then Brent Spiner, Data, goes, wait a minute. Have you been to the Ling Nan?
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh, that's
and
great.
Fillion didn't know what it was. And Fillion was kind of like, I haven't lived in Edmonton in a long time. I'm sorry. And Spiner says, I'm at a convention a few years ago. There's a blizzard. Instead of making us wait for our car to come get us, the people there just said, hey, come with us. And they took us to the Ling Nan. And he's like, yeah, it's like talking about how it's decorated. And
that's great.
I just thought it was like, this is the last thing you expect. I mean, Fillion was on. So I'm like, well, maybe at some point something Edmonton related is going to come up. But the fact that it wasn't Fillion who said, hey, when you're in Edmonton, you got to go eat here. Brent Spiner, who's probably eaten at 1,000 different restaurants in 200 different cities around the world, remembered the Ling Nan.
Well, that's great.
And then he said there was a TV show because they were profiled in Family Business probably 8-9 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. I like Nathan Fillion. He's the voice of my favorite video game I played too.
Is he? Which one is that in? Is he
Destiny.
he's in that?
Yeah. Well, Cade 6. He died. One of the saddest things ever.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was.
Oh. Jasmine in the Nasty Chat says the Oilers need to win their face-offs tonight. That's true. I didn't even look at the team face-off stats. I can do that now. So here's the thing. If back to what I was talking about, if the Oilers can actually check tonight and make it somewhat of a low event game, then I might start to be like, okay, the new guys are really paying off, that they're starting to play like they can. But they got to go out and do it. They got to go out and do it against a high quality team, because that is the one thing they have not really done that this season.
I wonder if the game against the Knights can kind of be a catalyst for that style of play. Like, because what we've seen from the Oilers all year, it's track meet time.
Yeah.
They want to get into a track meet. They want to go last goal wins and try to win games that way. But as you see, when it comes down to it, that doesn't work when you're trying to win championships. And I liked their game last game, and I like the way they played. I like the physicality. I've watched a little bit of Colorado, and what I notice about Colorado the most is they play quick. Like, they are fast. And when the puck is turned over and you have a defensive core like that, they are looking to hit these guys so quickly and get the puck back to them and reattack. So the smelling salts have to be aplenty to keep guys engaged and on their toes from the start of this game. Like, you have to be so focused. Yeah. You can't, when you're out on the ice, you cannot relax. You can't even relax on the bench. You have to be aware of what's going on, because they're a very dangerous team, and they will, if there's blood in the water, look out. But I don't know. I have this weird feeling, Reed, that I don't know why, but I think the Oilers have turned a corner in some shape or form, that they're going to play a little bit different now. I could be wrong, but I'm really interested to see what team hits the ice in Denver tonight.
Well, I think 2 games in, I think Murphy, good. Dickinson, good.
Yeah.
Doc, again, I'd like to see him play more than the 5 minutes he got last game.
But I noticed him every shift.
And that's right.
Yeah.
And that's why people get frustrated with Knobloch. Me too. Because I'm of the school where it's like, look, if you're a depth player and you're not being noticed, I don't feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Fine. You're telling your captain and your assistant captain, you guys got to play 25 minutes because I won't throw a body check. I don't feel... I realize, well, you got to keep putting him up there. I don't agree with that. You know when the game starts, if you're not telling your coach you're ready to go in the first 2 or 3 shifts, then you should get your ice time cut.
Yeah.
You're basically saying, sorry, coach, I guess you're going to have to overplay the big guys. But that's the one of the knocks on Knobloch that I would agree with on nights in which a depth player is playing a noisy game, that he still kind of doesn't find him opportunities to get on the ice. Like I remember Mac T, I'm cherry picking a quote I remember here. Like I wasn't even covering the team. Mac T was coaching. Larac was on the team. Okay. And I remember listening to the post game, and Mac T said, I was on the bench thinking I got to find a way to get him more ice time. Like you got to put his line out or put him out on another line. I'm not saying you're throwing Doc out on different lines, but man, oh man, you'd love to see that even get to 8 or 9 minutes, because five almost didn't seem fair given how he was playing.
You had you did that when Dickinson came in. He was talking about how he likes to go up against the other teams and shut them down. Great clip. That's what you want. I think with all 3 of the new guys, you have experience and Doc, who's younger, but they all know their role, right? I think in the past when players have come in, they have all come in to fit the role of balanced scoring. They almost had to score.
Right.
They weren't come in to solidify the defensive structure of the team. This is the first time since really Ekholm that you've brought in a player you want to be a stalwart on the defensive side of the game. So now you have 3 guys that, look, I'm not here to score. I'm here to not get scored on.
Right.
And if I can chip in, great. But that's not why I'm on this club. They need help with my type of skill set. So that's encouraging. I like that move. Now you still need balanced scoring, but they got it last game, right? So
yes.
But again, that mindset needs to translate to throughout the whole lineup too. It can't just be, those guys are defenders, we're scorers. Like it has to be a cohesive unit to focus on the defensive side, or they're just going to get eaten alive by the good teams. And I don't know I'd like to see their record against top teams. I don't think it's that very.
No, it's not that good.
But neither is the Knights. I don't think they've beat like a top playoff team since I
think it's November. People are saying, right? I didn't look for sure, but yeah.
So the Pacific's.
Well, that's the crazy thing, right? I mean, the Oilers are out of the playoffs in the East, aren't they? So
yeah,
I just find Gager. Like I hope it's in the Oilers to try to play a little more lockdown hockey. I mean, this is now when I bring this up, I got to be careful here because I'm going to bring up something, guys, that every team does now. Like we've seen the transformation of the NHL over the last 20 years. Skill isn't coached out of players when they're 12. Like, how dare you stick handle? You got to hit, there's no longer a 2-line pass. Like I leaned over to Jim Matheson halfway through the first period of the Hurricanes game. And I said, how much of playing defenseman in the NHL now is just being able to lob the puck out to center?
Yeah.
Like win the face-off, just lob it out, can just chase it.
Hope.
And you see, like it's not on a one face-off now in the defensive zone. It's not one forward flying the zone. It's 2 or it's all of them. It's all of them. And So now all teams do that. But I still sometimes feel like with the Oilers, they're almost doing it too quickly before they're sure. And I still worry that they're thinking offense when they don't have the puck. Of course, Connor and Leon are guilty of this. And yes, they're capable, but you see sometimes the way they swoop back. Well, I'm going to steal it. I brought up the goal Anaheim scored the game winner, where Leon's trying to knock it out of the air. He's thinking, I can't say I think like Leon Draisaitl, but to me, his body language and his posture and his intent was, I'm going to steal it and go the other way. And he's 184 feet from the other team's net.
And that's what the mindset. And you go as your leaders go. And there's a time to cheat, and there's a time to make sure that you're in good position. We'll single out the big dogs here. That, of course, with Leon. But last game, the Eichel goal. If you watch that Eichel goal, you watch Connor McDavid in the slot, and he kind of sees the possibility that Bush is going to get it, and he can ring it around the boards. So McDavid goes behind the net in a 50-50 if Bush can get it over there, and then he's gone, and he can go up the other side with the puck, right? Instead, if Connor's just, okay, you know what? We're on the power play. We're up by 2. Let's play it safe. I'll just take the middle of the ice.
Just stand in front of your
own net.
net.
In front. The dangerous part on the ice right now is the middle. And if he were to just have stood there, A, he probably would have got that errant pass. Or B, he could have gotten in the way of Eichel and checked him.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if Bouchard does get the puck and rims it around, Connor's still quick enough and fast enough to go grab the puck and come up the other side, and it's still kind of the same thing, right? So that little thinking of defensive first, not always, you're up by 2. You don't need to think that way. You have to think, we can't give this team a point. We're in a great position to steal 2 out of their barn, whatever.
Yep.
And go and try to track them down later. Like play the game a little bit more. They're not always about, the game's over if you score the third one. But it's also should be over now.
Yeah. Old Gil said, I was joking about this in the bullpen earlier today. Does MacKinnon end up catching McDavid in points tonight? He's 4 points behind. If it's 9-1,
could we see
I hate to say that
early 2000s Ovechkin Crosby kind of duel where they both have a hat trick?
Colin in the nasty chat says, in my opinion, this team rides or dies on Nurse and Wallman. Wallman needs to be a difference maker, and Nurse needs a Bluetooth Paul Coffey voice headphone in his ear at all times. That'd be something. Yeah, those guys have been disappointing for large stretches of the season. I can't argue with that. They're split up now. I mean, I think the hope is Wallman on his strong side with Murphy will be better. I think you saw reason to have hope about that the last 2 games. So, the impact of Murphy on the team for sure. The face-off stats, by the way, I looked them up on the fly. They're both pretty good. Oilers are 4th in face-offs, 53%. Avs are 9th at 51.3 because Jasmine put in something there about face-offs. Yeah, the Oilers against some of the really good teams, Gagers. So we have to count Buffalo now.
Yeah.
Because they're leading their division. 0-1-1 against the Sabres. Carolina, Oilers 1-1 against them. Avs 0-1. Dallas 0-1-1. Minnesota 0-3. Who else do we count? The Canadians 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Tampa Bay? Oh, well, they had the overtime loss. That was actually they checked hard that game. That was the game we had our mixer here. Who else would we put in that category? Well, I guess we could count Vegas because they're still leading the division 2-0. Well, Anaheim you'd have to count 1-1. Still play the Ducks. So yeah, not really. I guess unless Vegas, not really a kind of division leading caliber team. Who could have I counted? Well, I guess you could. Well, a lot of teams are ahead of the Oilers, but yeah, what are they against Pittsburgh? Didn't they split with Pittsburgh this year? Yeah, 1-1. So yeah, but I mean specifically those 3 powerhouse teams, like we've talked about in the Central, 5-1, and some really gross goal differentials along the way. So yeah, I get that. Like if the Oilers make the playoffs and they haven't had a lot of sort of convincing victories against good teams. I get it. That's going to make fans feel like, wow, can they really beat somebody 4 times in 7 games?
Yeah. Experience comes into it, I think. I guess, would they be considered if the playoffs started today, Reed, and they were to play the Vegas Golden Knights in the first round? Vegas would have home ice. Do you still? Who would be the underdog, or is it a?
I think the Oilers could beat Vegas in a series.
Yeah, I do too.
And especially if Ingram, who looks like he's going to be the goalie, because Vegas doesn't sort of. To me, and maybe I'm going to be eating my words in the spring, they don't have the swagger.
Oh,
like in my mind,
yeah.
Like when they knocked. And I tell this story all the time, but just for context, when they knocked the Oilers out in 23, I remember texting with Drew Remenda after the game, and he was like, "Man, the Oilers made the conference final last year." And I was like, "Well," I said, "Well, I said the Vegas Golden Knights play like a bunch of miserable bastards."
Yeah.
And he was still doing the show with Jamie. He's like, "You got to come on with me and Jamie tomorrow and talk about this." And that's why I started calling the Golden Knights the miserable bastards. It's like, yeah, you got goofy-looking, fun-loving Mark Stone, but when he puts on his hockey equipment, like he'll cross-check his grandma to win the Stanley Cup. Petrangelo, like the Slash. And now I feel like they're aging out or they've traded some guys. I feel like Vegas can be worn down, where I didn't feel like that 3 or 4 years ago.
Even the goaltending. Like, Hill's a good goaltender, but he looks beatable. Yeah, it's funny how the you talk about swagger. Goaltenders with swagger seem to be bigger in net, and he's a mammoth of a man, and he looked small the other night.
Right,
and he's swimming a little bit, and I still remember when he came back from an injury one game, and the Oilers had their way with Vegas that game, but it was his first game back, and he was all over the place, and he's not that type of goaltender. Like I would say, when he's on, he looks more like Ingram, right? Ingram is a very smart goaltender. Like he puts himself always in the best position to stop the puck. I'm quite surprised how well he plays. Actually, I didn't watch him much in Utah, and just heard again Jamie McLennan's talking glowingly about him and saying he is a number 1 goalie in the league. I have to completely agree with Noodles. He's that was a fortunate pickup by the Oilers to get this done, right? Because he's been the kind of the brightest light for the Oilers in goal this year. Yeah,
I would agree with that. 2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Reed Wilkins, in for Dustin Nielsen today as we get you ready for the Oilers and the Avalanche. 8 o'clock tonight. I saw somebody who covers the Avs tweet. It's actually an 8:17 start time. Yeah. The golden hour. I just wish they'd make it 8:18 because I like palindromes. So Tom Gazzola will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7. Are you on tonight, or is Belzy on?
I think it's Boom Boom.
Belzy tonight, and then they'll have the postgame show afterwards. Game 2 of the Oilers' 4-game road trip. It did start off well with a win over the Golden Knights on Sunday, and then they're in Dallas on Thursday, St. Louis on Friday. Both of those will be 6 o'clock games, so a little more normal. All right, Gager, I'm going to come somewhat out of left field for Hired or Fired for GS Construction. For over 50 years, GS Construction has been proud to serve our communities and work alongside incredible people. Every member of their team has their own story, but they all share one thing in common, a passion for the work we do. Visit gsconstruction.ca. Now, hire it or fire it. The Colorado Avalanche, are going to have 120, 125 points?
Yep.
The Avalanche could have one of the best regular seasons in league history and not have a major individual award winner at the end of the season.
Ooh.
Now, let's go through this.
Okay.
Let's start with Coach of the Year, the Jack Adams. Often when a team has a supernatural regular season, it's kind of like, how can you not vote for the coach? Mm-hmm. But, there's got to be a lot of people looking at Lindy Ruff right now with the Sabres.
Okay, yeah.
San Luis, maybe.
Is that
with the Habs?
With the Habs, okay. What about who's San Jose's coach?
Warsofsky.
Yeah, I think you got to throw his hat in the ring too.
Okay, even if they make the playoffs, they miss. Okay, if they make the playoffs,
they would have to make the playoffs. I think.
Okay. Goalie, even in Dallas.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's.
Or would voters be like, well, they're in the same division as the Avs, and Dallas has been to the conference final 3 years in a row before he got there?
I always look, the Jack Adams usually goes to the team that was crap the year before.
Often.
Right?
Often,
and then
right?
then they have a really good year. It's like, oh, the coach, he turned everything around.
That's why you got to think.
That's why they get it.
I would put Ruff as the favorite right now.
You would have to.
But Bednar is going to get votes. I mean, how can you
not?
Yeah. Okay, but it's not a lock. Fair enough?
Okay. Yeah, no.
Okay. Norris. Now you got Makar.
Rowensky was kind of the top. How do you not put Bouchard in?
Hugh Hughes. And Bouchard will finish higher in the Norris voting than he's ever finished this year. But is Makar a lock?
No.
Is he the favorite?
No, because the Norris always goes to the guy that had the most points. That's who gets the Norris. Because we look back, I think Erik Karlsson, when he won, he had 100 points. Obviously, fantastic offensive year, but he was also minus 26. And I know my plus minus what it is, but if you have 100 points, you probably shouldn't be minus 26.
Right.
It could be minus, fine, but I think that number's closer to 0 than not. So I'm going to say Bouchard wins it because I think he finishes the year with the most points.
That'd be amazing, eh?
Oh man, my father-in-law's head will explode if he wins.
Now, Vezina, both these guys are good, but they split games. So Blackwood has 27 appearances. Wedgwood has 35. One guy's 9-11, one guy's 9-16. They're both going to they could both finish the season with single-digit regulation time losses. But to win the Vezina, you usually got to play quite a bit. I mean, Vizmelka has 49 appearances. He's having a good year. He's 30-16-2, 900 save percentage. Who was I looking at here? Vasilevsky, has played 42 games. He's got a 914 save percentage. I wonder if they're going to play enough games for one of them to win it. And I guess it would be Wedgwood. I mean, he's 24-4-5 with a 916. But I think Vizmelka's going to get a look. I would think Vasilevsky's. I mean, you could even make his save percentage isn't as good, but Dostal's a good goalie, kind of carrying the load for Anaheim.
I think it's a lock, Reed, if it keeps going this way and it goes to Vasilevsky.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll play probably 54 games or so. And he's got a 914.
914, 2.28 goals against. And again, don't watch a ton of Mammoth. They have a very high goal differential, actually, if I remember.
They're a good team. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
The Oilers still go there a couple of times.
So, yeah, they got a good young team, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to make the playoffs, too. So...
Andy Z says, I didn't look this up. In the last 20 seasons, the Norris was won by the defenseman scoring leader 9 times, so about half the time. Mike, the Michigan fan, says the Norris Trophy is a joke. Hey, take that back about James Norris. It isn't awarded to the best defenseman. It's awarded to the most offensive defenseman now. But still, Makar, when he's like a lot of times the guys are good at both ends of the ice.
Yeah. Where they always talk about it. And the changing of the name too, right? You name
have one for each,
this, and the Rod Langway or the Larry Robinson, whatever it is, right? The Bob Gainey. I don't think it's right that the top scoring defenseman. There should just be a award for the top scoring defenseman in the league if that's what they're going to do,
right?
Because it usually is,
right?
The Norris should be the best all around defenseman, and a lot of times that's either.
You'd still have to have points, though.
You'd have to have points. Yeah, you can't be Dennis Rodman and just get rebounds. Like you got to score. But yeah, then it becomes a little bit easier. I think the voters are just lazy.
Well, don't get me started on media, guys.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll do the Hart. No, it often goes to the highest scorer.
Yeah.
Because points help. So MacKinnon and McDavid are the top 2 scorers. Kucherov's up there. Now, Celebrini has, quote-unquote, dropped to 5th. But if San Jose makes the playoffs... But I don't know. I think voters this year would pick... Maybe MacKinnon has the best chance. Like I said, he's plus 56. He's going to finish in the top 3 in scoring. His team's going to win over 50 games. Like if Celebrini and the Sharks squeak into the playoffs, can you say he's more valuable than MacKinnon?
Yeah.
I don't think McDavid's going to win it this year, even if he wins the scoring race.
I don't think he's been a great player, like great offensive player, but is he the most valuable player? I mean, he is valuable. Don't get me wrong.
Well, of course, but
when you look at what Celebrini's done, I look at the most valuable player differently too. Like, who's the most valuable player to his team? Like, you could
depends how literal you take that.
Yeah, right. Because if you remove Connor McDavid from the Edmonton Oilers this year, I think they're still a playoff team with Leon Draisaitl. Right. You take MacKinnon away. Yeah, maybe their point totals decrease, but I think the Avs are still a playoff team. Mm-hmm. You take Celebrini off the San Jose Sharks, they are looking at McKenna again for hopefully they get the first overall pick, right? Yeah. So that to me, this would never happen, and they're better. But Matthew Schaefer has made the New York Islanders a way better team. You know, there should be consideration. He'll win the Calder, I guess. Yeah. There's that's kind of the default. So we'll throw the Calder to him, so we don't have to consider him for any of the other ones. But yeah, that's how I look at it. Macklin Celebrini has meant more to his team than any of those other guys because I still think that they're playoff teams now. And the same thing happened to Taylor Hall when he played in New Jersey. He was like 60 points ahead of everyone else, and he literally dragged that team into the playoffs. Yeah. They got completely crushed the first round, and the Sharks might. But it's amazing what this kid has been able to do.
Gord says Makar being the top D this year is reputation based this season. He says, I would still take him as the first D if I had the choice of any, but this season is not the best he's had this year. Project Dumpling says in terms of balance, it should be Quinn Hughes. So, yeah, but it could be the Avalanche win the President's Trophy going away and maybe don't have an individual award winner. I think MacKinnon has the best chance at the Hart because I think they're going to give Ruff Coach of the Year. Fair point. Maybe like as great as Makar. It's kind of like when we talk about McDavid's season. It's like, well, like Makar's kind of like, well, he's awesome, but he's been better.
Yeah.
Oddly enough. So, yeah.
Doesn't the coach that wins the Jack Adams get fired the next year usually?
Does that always happen?
It seems like it does. I think Tippett actually said that.
They all get fired within 2 years. Anyway.
But it was Tippett. I think he said, I don't want to ever win that thing because you win that, you get fired the next year. Because I think he won. Did he win it in Phoenix one year?
I think he won it once.
And then he got fired the next.
All right. That was Hired or Fired for GS Construction. We got to go. Gager is sticking around. He has EST Afternoons with his buddy Hernan Salas. I have my show with Jason Milne from 3 to 6 p.m. And, of course, the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola at 7. Oilers and Avs, 8:17 face-off. Says we'll say 8, but really apparently it's going to start at 8:17. Gager, always a pleasure.
Awesome, Reed.
Talk to you soon.